Lone Fire at 3, Rose Paladin, Rose Lover came out in Premium Gold. So what does this mean for a deck like Sylvans? Well, Soul Charge is still at 1. If you happen to draw the Soul Charge in a Lone Fire, nigga. One of my biggest issues with Sylvans is the fact that you're somewhat forced to play a lot of Hermitree. Shade Scoria is okay because it gets back your Charity, your Sylvania, and it does summon itself from the hand. Hermitree more or less stays in your hand unless you put it on top of your deck, etc., etc. And because you want to draw in addition to Excavate, that's like the only type of card advantage that Sylvans have other than destroying your opponent's stuff, Martial Leaf, Cold Mushroom, you feel like you have to play 3. So Rose Lover banishes itself from the graveyard to summon a plant. It could be any plant, but ideally, in this situation, you would just want to summon Hermitree. It's a plant, so it can get excavated. It's a level 1, so Cheru's Sprout can summon it. But I don't feel like that alone would warrant playing through Hermitree. But the sad part is when you look at a deck, and I don't like high-level monsters, clearly. And if I can find a way not to play high-level monsters, I do that shit. Side note, this is the reason why I do not want to play Elegy in the Melodious deck. I will play Shapina, but I do not want to play Elegy because I feel like, and it's happened way too motherfucking times, where I'd be stuck with the Elegy in my hand, and I don't draw Crystal Rose. That shit ain't a fairy. Back to Sylvans. It seems like you have to run 3 Hermitree, as much as that fucking sucks. Because of that, Rose Lover, I think, is pretty decent. And it also does give the monster summoned by Rose Lover immunity from your opponent's traps that turn. Rose Paladin, on the other hand, it is not a plant, which sucks, because it would obviously have synergy with the plant theme. But it does allow you to search a high-level plant, which Hermitree is. And I guess you might want to add a Sage Goya to your hand. But it's not a plant, so among your cards that you excavate, Rose Paladin goes to the bottom. You have reinforcements of the army. I feel like in a Sylvan deck, you should be playing some number of Rose Archer because you're probably not playing a whole lot of traps, if any. So you want to have some type of protection, those condoms, son, against your opponent's crap. Usually in a form of a trap. Would you even want to search a Hermitree just to summon it with Rose Lover? That just seems like a whole lot of work you don't need to be going through. The overall point I'm trying to make is that being able to search the Hermitree to summon it with Rose Lover is nice. But Sylvans have a bad enough time on just not losing to themselves. Because the deck is rather inconsistent. And the only consistent thing that it had was Soul Charge at 3. And since it's at 1, that makes it even less consistent. And playing 3 Hermitree, to me, just makes the deck even less consistent. How many Rose Lover would you play to supplement 3 Hermitree? That's what I'm saying. So I don't feel like it really made that much of a difference. Being able to summon a Hermitree from your hand is great shit. And being able to search one of them shits is also great. But I do not think that it makes Sylvans any better. I feel like the deck is okay, but it's one of the worst things in any type of card game when you're playing a deck that loses to itself more times than the average. And I do not feel like Rose Lover or Rose Paladin changes that significantly. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Appreciate that shit. If you'd like to support me or something, all I ask you spend literally seconds out your day and click an advertisement. The money accumulated goes towards rent and overall living expenses. And I'll be grateful and appreciative if you can find some time to help me live.